Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you again, Mr. Attorney General, for joining us and for your patience with this questioning. I'm honored to represent a diverse community in North Carolina. Wake County has worked to welcome people of all backgrounds, ethnicities, and religions. The growth and success of my district in the Research Triangle Park depends on our commitment to celebrating the many cultures that contribute to our community. Unfortunately, over the past few years, these very communities that have contributed so much to my state and my district have found themselves under attack. Jewish leaders in my district have received threats to themselves and their synagogues as recently as last month. HBCUs across our state have locked down in response to bomb threats. Asian Americans in North Carolina and throughout the country have found themselves facing slurs and threats spurred in large part by the racialized language about the COVID-19 pandemic. The Southern Poverty Law Center reported in late 2020 that the number of white nationalist groups grew 55% between 2017 and 2019, noting that the rise in hate-based attacks coincides with the growth of the white nationalist movement. And the Anti-Defamation League relatedly found that white supremacist propaganda incidents occurred over 14 times per day on average in 2020, with a total of 5,125 reported cases, nearly twice the number of cases reported in 2019, and the highest number the ADL has ever recorded. This dangerous trend has continued in the last few years and has recently included, as active clubs have been increasing in their number and prominence. These active clubs started popping up in late 2020 and are a network of white nationalist groups that see themselves as fighters in training for an ongoing war against a system they claim is deliberately plotting against the white race. As Attorney General, I am deeply interested and concerned about the rise of these clubs, threats of violence, and actual violence, and wanted to know if you're familiar with these activities and what your department is doing to counteract them.
So I'm not familiar with the specifics of those clubs, and I will certainly look into what the department's doing in that respect. Very soon after I came into the department, I saw the spike in hate crime threats that were being made and in actual acts of violence. I directed the department to develop a strategy for responding to that. 30 days later, that was pretty much coincident with Congress's passage of the COVID No Hate Act. And we have now fulfilled, I think, all of the obligations under that act. We have task forces set up to investigate and prosecute hate crimes, both as hate crimes and where they satisfy the requirements as domestic violent extremism or as domestic terrorism. We have brought dozens of cases against people who have made these threats, as well as, in particular, those who have attempted to carry them out. And as you know, we have a prosecution pending in Buffalo with respect to the horrendous killing of Black Americans in the Tops grocery store by an avowed white supremacist.
Thank you very much. And